Hey y'all, if you're new here, welcome to the channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. Today, on episode 6, we are continuing the summer season. I started off the morning by collecting a reward I had sitting in inventory, and then checked the mail. Gus kindly gifted us some food. What a sweetie. I finished all the farm chores, and then headed down to the orange tree I have on the farm to pick some oranges for Gus's birthday. And then decided to head into town to go ahead and give him his birthday gift. I also caught up with some townsfolk who are debriefing the Green Rain event as well while in Pierre's. Afterwards, I headed up to the Adventurers Guild, where I walked into a cutscene with Gil. The little birdie told me the mine carts on your farm are out of order. That would be correct. I used to work in these tunnels myself when I was a young lad. I knew a thing or two about those rugged trolleys and can fix them up for you. Great, I need 24 refined iron and copper bars to fix the wheels. Marlin will drop off a storage chest. I'll get your carts working again, farmer. Or was it adventurer? I'm getting it mixed up. I will respond to both. I'm trying to befriend Marlin as well somewhat early on, just to kind of see what the expanded storyline will lead me to. I also checked out the monster eradication goal progress while here, and I have a long way to go. So, on to the mines. I had accepted a request to slay some dust sprites earlier today, and also wanted to collect some coal and iron for smelting. And to conclude the mines trip for today, I made it down to floor 60 and got a crystal dagger, which I am going to go sell immediately for some extra gold. The daggers are just not my preferred weapon. Plus, that one's worth quite a bit. Then I headed home and went to bed. Day 9 started with an exciting visit from Demetrius. I had finally shipped enough to hit the gold limit and was faced with the age-old decision of mushrooms versus bats. Normally, I choose bats because I want the fruit for the community center, but since I have so many fruit trees already on this farm, I'm thinking I'm actually going to go with mushrooms this time. Also, a nice perk about choosing mushrooms is it now comes with a dehumidifier courtesy of the 1.6 update. So after Demetrius left, I checked the mail and had a recipe from Gus, and then went to go check the cave to see what the mod would make the mushrooms look like. And they're just cute little guys on the floor. I then headed to go see the wizard to complete the request that I had accepted yesterday, picking up quite a bit of gold and a prize ticket. While I was going ahead and looking at prizes, I went ahead and accepted another request. I then headed over to Lewis to cash my prize ticket in and got mixed flower seeds, which is mildly disappointing, but that's okay. I might just use it to decorate the farm. I was pleased with the progress I made in the mines yesterday, so I headed back to farm more iron and coal, as well as slay frost slimes for a new request I had just accepted. I reset the floors for a bit, and then once I had completed the request, went down to see how much further I could make it in the mines. And this ladder on floor 64 just took me forever to find, but once I finally hit 65 and it was midnight, I decided to call it and head back to the farm and go to bed. Overnight, I leveled up in combat, which was great. The morning of day 10, I had a letter from Lewis letting me know about the Summer Luau, which I did completely forget about, so honestly the reminder was very nice. Later that morning, I headed into town to see Clint and get a steel axe upgrade. Since I was in the area, I also took a trip to the museum to donate a couple of artifacts. And I donated a dwarf scroll, gold coin, frozen tear, and jade. I talked to Lewis while also in town, completing the frost slime request for a bit of gold. I hadn't been fishing in the past couple days, and it had started to feel strange, so I decided to head down to the beach and do a bit of light fishing so that way I could sell what I caught at Willie's while here. After I was done fishing, I was heading back to the farm when I saw Gus standing overlooking the ocean and decided to go see what was up. Ah, hello, Ainsley. The view of the Gem Sea is mighty incredible from this height. So, what brings you to Blue Moon Vineyard? Well, I'm actually leaving the beach, but that's pretty close, so we'll go with that. I see, I was just there. Willie is fishing on the dock right now. I bought 5 cases of premium iridium quality wine from Sophia. The saloon only had 1 bottle left. I thought it'd be a good idea to restock. Blue Moon Vineyard is one of the largest vineyards in the Fernville Republic. It was first established many years ago and has always had a great reputation. I don't know much about the vineyard. That's right, you don't know. Well, that sounds ominous. Something very tragic happened to Sophia's parents. I was close to them. Sophia inherited the vineyard and she's been doing a great job. It's a lot of work for one person, though. She doesn't show up in town very often, not since her parents were. I'm gonna not probe the subject. That's okay, Ainsley. I need to go stock the saloon for tonight. I feel like Sophia will tell me when she's ready. Maybe that'll be part of her plotline. And to cheer myself up after all of that, I decided to go buy our first chickens. And so I named one of them Cream and one of them Cocoa. I think I was craving sweets when playing. And I had to reset a couple of times because I like to have 1 white and 1 brown chicken. I looked to see what other kind of supplies that Marie would have and noticed a lot of things related to additional pets, but don't have enough money and don't need anything for now. When leaving Marnie's, I popped into a new cutscene, and something is crying, screaming, wailing. Ah, it's Jazz. Ainsley, I got lost in the woods chasing a squirrel. Can you take me back to Aunt Marnie's? Yes, I will guide you back. Thanks, Ainsley. Oh my goodness, Jazz, are you okay? I was about to go looking for you. I got lost in the forest. Ainsley found me. Let's get inside. I'll cook you your favorite meal, okay? Thank you, Ainsley. So after returning Jazz to Marnie, I stopped by the farm to pick up a strawberry and hurried up to the mountain lake to give it to Maru for her birthday. Then I spent the afternoon fishing with the little ducks at the lake for company. Once it had started to get dark and my pockets were full, I decided it was time to head back to the farm and call it a day. On day 11, we had money in the mail from Lewis, which that's basically the best thing that Lewis will ever do. And Jazz sent us a sweet little thank you note. Then I went to go see my cute little baby chicks. They are just adorable little fluff balls. And this was also the first morning of mushrooms on the farm, which is exciting, so I popped those right in the dehydrator. I decided to go with an apricot for the luau, which, spoiler alert, ends up being a not so great idea, but at the time it may have been the best I had available because I didn't want to use anything that I was saving for the community center or I thought was more valuable to keep for the future. So next year I'll just have to make an effort and actually think through about the luau in advance. But before tossing an apricot into the soup, I made the rounds, talking to everybody that was in attendance to check out their cute outfits for the event. Okay, and now for the moment of truth. Let's see how this apricot turns out with the governor. Yep, not that exciting. I mean, I guess it could have been worse, but kind of a wash of a luau festival, I would say. Because I don't know if you get an average response, if that even helps with friendship. So after that, headed home and went to bed. On day 12, my steel axe was ready, so I headed over to Clint's to pick that up. And this will be super helpful because now I can finally get rid of those stumps around the farm and make it to the secret woods. Then I made my way to the community center to drop off a couple of items. So I donated clams to the crab pot bundle, sardines to the ocean fish bundle, tuna to the ocean fish bundle, and tilapia. And also bream to the nightfish bundle. Then headed over to the boiler room and donated quartz and frozen tear, And then in the pantry, donated tomatoes, hot peppers, and blueberries for its summer crops, as well as oranges for the artisan bundle. So no bundles completed, but a lot of progress made. I then headed back to the farm to get a lightning rod set up for the storm that's coming in tomorrow. And I decided this spot up here is as good as any to get my lightning rod farm set up. I then headed down to the secret woods using my brand new axe to see what this area was like. And I probably should have waited to do this in the daylight because it started to get very dark in here and I had a hard time of knowing which was the right way to go, but I just tried to use these little flowers almost as a guide and walk in between them. So I did stumble upon quite a few slime, as well as some new foraging items, which is exciting to finally find. Especially this new berry type, which I know I need for the community center. Eventually, it was getting too dark that even the flowers weren't helping me out too much, so I decided to call it for today and try again tomorrow. Day 13 was a rainy Saturday, and I started by checking the mail and got some spaghetti from Gus. We've gotten a lot of food from him this episode. Then I headed over to the coop, and my chickens are fully grown, and they're still adorable little fluff balls. After exiting, I got a Marnie cutscene. Hi Ainsley, now that you own farm animals, I thought I'd let you in on a little secret. They won't wander out of the fenced areas on your farm, so you're free to leave them open. That is very nice, and I was actually kind of wondering, so nice helpful cutscene. After that helpful update from Marnie, I headed back into the secret woods to see what it looked like in the daylight, and had a much easier time getting around. After my forage loop in the secret woods, I made my way to Alex's house to give him a birthday present. While here, I also decided to say hello to Evelyn and George. I then headed over to the community center to complete a couple of bundles, starting off with the crafts room. To the summer foraging bundle, I donated the new types of berries that come from the secret woods, which granted me a bunch of summer seeds. Also, while here, from the mushroom cave, I donated some common mushrooms. And by finishing the summer foraging bundle, I unlocked the bulletin board. I then headed up to the pantry and donated a couple of things to the summer crops bundle. I donated melons and butternut squash, completing this bundle as well. And the prize for this one was 3 quality sprinkler, which is actually a fantastic prize. So that is clutch. I will definitely be putting those down tonight. And by finishing the summer crops bundle, I unlocked the vault room. I wanted to check out these new bundles to see what the damage would be, and this chef's bundle is definitely going to be a little difficult for me. I'm still struggling pretty hard with those shearwater bridge fish, so that one should be interesting. The rest of these don't look too bad, mostly just an additional expanded item here and there, and then maybe the quantity requested is different, but none of those are too concerning to me. It's really just that chef's bundle. Then I also went to go check out the vault bundles. I know those are always just money, but I wanted to see what the quantities would be. And honestly, I expected worse. I know that's rich coming from someone with less than 3k gold to their name, but 50k as the highest bundle in the vault really isn't terrible. It definitely could have been worse. On my way back to the farm, I stopped by Pierre's to pick up a couple more seeds. Once back on the farm, I got those planted and the new sprinklers placed. I then decided to spend the rest of the day clearing up the pathways around the farm. It had started to get pretty cluttered and I was having a hard time getting anywhere, so decided to take the time to go ahead and make it a little bit easier for myself. And overnight, we got the infamous owl statue and also leveled up in farming, fishing, and mining. And I picked the miner profession. So, a productive day overall. On day 14, I checked the Queen of the Sauce and learned the recipe for pancakes. Which, those sound good now. I also got some mail from Dad and a request from Pam for a pale ale. I don't have any kegs yet, so that might take a while, but that's okay. I'll just hold on to the request for now. I then decided to get some machines going and crafted 2 mayonnaise machines to put in the coop now that my chickens are fully grown. Went ahead and popped the eggs in. I then spent the rest of the day cleaning up the farm, smelting iron bars, and expanding my crop areas to add more fences. So it was really just a maintenance day today. I don't think I left the farm at all. And that concludes week 2 of summer and the episode. So if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed, please give the video a like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see y'all in the next episode. Bye!